You ever wonder why, under Biden administration, the United States has seen a record-breaking number of illegal aliens crossing the southwest border? The graphs don't lie, and these staggering figures, reported by Fox News and sourced from the U.S. Customs and Border Protection, reveals more than just numbers. It unveils a narrative of concern and caution for the future of America. Let's talk about this. Now imagine for a moment the entire population of states like Alabama, Arkansas, Colorado, and 33 others. Now envision them all moving to a single place. This isn't a plot from a sci-fi novel, but the reality of the situation at the U.S. southwest border. Since President Biden took office in 2021, over 7.2 million illegal crossings have been recorded. This number surpasses the population of 36 individual states, presenting a stark contrast to the notion of a secure and manageable national border. So why is this happening? And how does it affect you? Critics argue that the surge in illegal immigration stems from policy choices under this current administration that contrast sharply that from former presidents. But yet, at the end of the day, what's done is done. The implications are vast, affecting the job markets, public services, and the very fabric of communities across the country. To make it even worse, this year is expected to be off the charts for fiscal year 2024. Likelihood of the upcoming number shattering last year's records in multiple states along the borderline. This has clearly turned into a national crisis of epic proportions, and based upon the charts, we're just getting started. But beyond the numbers, there's a human element to this story. Each individual crossing the border is coming here because they were promised something. The immigrants are flooding across the border, but they can't do it without some help. And it's not just coming from the cartels. Non-government organizations like the OIM, Red Cross, UNICEF, ICE, the European Union, Doctors Without Borders, the UNHCR, and others are offering immigrants aid and instruction on how to get into the United States directly. However, the sheer volume of illegal crossings challenges the U.S. ability to manage the immigration effectively, risking the safety and well-being of both the immigrants and the residents along the bordering states and throughout the country. The debate over how to address this issue is becoming very heated, not only in D.C., but even the locals in those woke states that are being forced to house, provide, and feed and clothe immigrants directly. Just today, the Supreme Court allowed Texas to enforce the immigration law they've been fighting for. 3 liberal judges disagreed as a conservative majority court denied the Biden administration emergency request, basically saying that the states cannot legislate immigration. The unfortunate news that followed right after that is that even Mexico don't even want to take back their own citizens. We're not even 90 days into the new year, and this has turned to a very complex issue. If I was to go out on a limb and sum it all up, we're witnessing the beginning of a nation without border. Let me remind you, this is all a part of the Great Reset, brought to us by the World Economic Forum under the direction of Klaus Schwab himself. Neither Democrat or Republican has a real say in this matter. Why is that, you might ask? Because all nations have signed on to the World Economic Forum's global citizenship agenda. Every president, both past and present, has paid homage to Klaus Schwab, touting him as some kind of world leader we all should be thankful for. No matter what side of the aisle you're on, every president has shaken hands with that man and looked him in the eye and made him a promise. And one of the many tools being rolled out all over the world, which has his signature all on it, is the digital ID scheme. Here's an example of what's being tested right now in Estonia. They offer the appeal of freedom to travel as long as you're plugged into their digital surveillance grid. So if you put your thinking caps on, you'll realize that the global game plan is a combination of the World Economic Forum's 4th Industrial Revolution objectives and the United Nations Agenda 2030. Their SDGs, or Sustainable Development Goals, combined with the 4th Industrial Revolution, lays out the Grand Master Plan that will usher in the New World Order. So eventually you'll have no border, one people, one government, and eventually one currency. So there you have it. The globalist agenda simplified. Now, what do you do with this information? For starters, you share this video so others can watch, listen, and learn. And most importantly, you have to be the resistance. Just sharing my thoughts on the matter. Curious to hear what you guys think. Drop a comment.